Good morning, everyone. Hello. My name is Ihuama Ihikumere, and I'm the site manager here at the new Transbay Child Development Center. I, it gives me so much pleasure to say welcome and thank you for being here today, for braving the rain and making it here anyway. Without further ado, I would like to introduce the Master of Ceremony. She does not need any more introduction. Let's put our hands together and welcome the Mayor of the City and County of San Francisco, Mayor London Breed.
Thank you. You know, I'm really, really excited to be here. Last year, I was able to attend the grand opening of Natalie Grum Commons, and it was absolutely amazing. Some of you know the history of Natalie Grubb and the work that she did to help create the tax credit program that allows for opportunity to invest into affordable housing like this one that we're standing in. And her family was here. It was a great occasion. 120 families of low income are living in this property as we speak. And today, when we open this preschool, they will be prioritized for the slots in this location, which is absolutely exactly what we should be doing in San Francisco. How incredible is that? So I'm joined here by a number of great people, and I like to see the young people already playing. I mean, this place isn't opening until next week, but they decided they wanted to try the place out. So that's why they're here today. This new Transbay Child Development Center is just really a welcome addition to this community, thanks to the city's Child Care Facilities Fund, and also a special thank you to Mimi and Peter Haasfund, and Mimi is here to speak a little bit later. We are so grateful for that public-private partnership that allows for an opportunity to create amazing spaces like this for our children to grow and to thrive. This is the third child development center operated by the South of Market Child Care Inc., SOMAC, and so we are appreciative of the work that they are doing in this community to provide these opportunities. High quality child care, educational services, and free support for families in the South of Market neighborhood and throughout San Francisco, where we know we have so many children and families. And I'm really excited about the features. I mean, you all look at the beautiful colors, the tiny tables with the chairs that none of us fit in, the bathrooms, the play areas, a place that not only is very beautiful, but promotes creativity and has an incredible learning environment. On World's Children's Day last month, I, along with President of the Board of Supervisors, Norman Yee, announced that we in San Francisco are launching the Child and Youth Friendly City Initiative. We are pledging to be a child-friendly city, and we want to make sure that young people have a safe and healthy environment to grow and to thrive, no matter where they live in our city. It is time that we start taking care of young people in all parts of San Francisco, and it starts with early childhood education. And Ingrid Mesquita is here, who is the director of the early childhood education for the city and county of San Francisco. Thank you, Ingrid, for joining us. Earlier this week, under the leadership of President Yee, we created a new stipend program called CARES 2.0 to support our city's early educators, because we know one of the biggest challenges we have is recruiting and retaining preschool teachers. And I experienced this firsthand when we opened a brand new child care facility in the Bayview Hunters Point community in West Point. It was promised to that community, and they had such a hard time recruiting preschool teachers. We can do better. We need to do better to support the educators who are educating our children. And so that's why I'm really excited about that program as well. But we are going to go even further. And next year, we will hold a Child and Youth Summit in San Francisco to really bring together people and experts and others to really begin to have a conversation about how we do a better job as a city with taking care of not just our children, but everybody's children. Other kids who may not have those parents or grandparents or community members who are looking out for their best interest. We have got to do a better job in investing in kids that oftentimes are neglected and forgotten and not getting the resources that they need and deserve to grow and thrive. This is personal for me as someone who grew up raised by my grandmother in public housing and have seen really the devastating impacts of neglect. So many of the people that I grew up with ended up, unfortunately, in very different situations, and I should be the norm and not the exception. And so we have to commit now, today, to do a better job for our kids, and it starts with our summit and the number of investments that we are making to start to support our young people early in their lives. And so with that, I want to really thank each and every one of you for being here. Thank you to Nasheen, who you're going to hear from in just a minute, and the Office of Community Investment and Infrastructure, the Mayor's Office of Housing and Community Development, the Office of Early Care and Education, Mercy Housing, and the architects for this project, Santos Prescott, who was instrumental in this project. It is absolutely beautiful, and we are grateful. Thank you to the contractor, Cahill Construction, and again, thank you to Mrs. Mimi Haas, who's joining us here today, who's the president of the Mimi and Peter Haas Fund. It does take a village. This village came together to make something magical happen, and I am so looking forward to doing more projects like this to change, really what is normal in San Francisco. Having access to affordable childcare for all families, whether you're low or middle income, is critical to making sure that our kids have the kinds of environments where they would grow and thrive. This is just the beginning, and I'm excited to partner with the next speaker, President of the Board of Supervisors, Norman Yee, who is really like the child care king. Let me tell you, this man, we came onto the Board of Supervisors together, and every single instance, he had always been the person who advocated to make sure that with developments, there were resources for childcare. With anything that we were doing, whether it was holding people accountable to think about childcare and how we provide resources for young people, he was at the forefront of those conversations. And so I'm excited that we've come, full circle with the fees from developments being used for purposes like this. That's what's making some of this happen. And so we are able to do that because of the hard work and leadership of President of the Board of Supervisors, Norman Yee.
Thank you, Mayor Bree. I'd like to think that I played a role in some of this stuff, and part of it is I'm just one person, and many of you in this room, we've been in this battlefield for decades, and this is really, to me, the result of all those battles we had over the 40 years I've been involved with this field. So I'm really thrilled to be here. I mean, when I walk through the center today, I keep on thinking, every child, every toddler, every preschooler should have this same opportunity in this quality environment. And of course, the South of Market Child Care, Inc. is really the ideal organization to operate this. Not only are they one of the best quality early education organization in the city, but their commitment to this area, to this South of Market area, precedes almost everybody in this room. They've been here for 40 years or 50 years, and I've worked with them through many of those years. and seeing them grow and wanting to serve the people that live in this community. So thank you to their organization. And I really, again, Mayor Beale thanked a lot of organizations that make this happen. It really does take a village, and I think this village came together for this. And one of those important person that is part of this village is Mimi Haas. I really admire her for her ongoing, never giving up support of early education in San Francisco. Thank you, Mimi. Yay. See, even the kids know that. As many of you know, early care and education has been my life's work. I work in this field as an educator and also as an executive director of one of the larger child care providers or early education providers in San Francisco for over 15 years. What I have seen over the years is the need to constantly advocate for more resources. Early educators are underpaid, and unfortunately, the state has not been able to keep up with its investments. As a city, we have invested in creating an entire Office of Early Care and Education, dedicated millions to sustain our child provider workforce. Most recently, as Mayor Bree mentioned, and I really want to commend her for supporting this notion of a 2.0 CARES program. It's something that I played a role in many, many years ago in creating CARES 1.0. And at the time, it was earth-shattering for it to happen. It's something that the rest of California followed right after we did it. And I was telling a story to somebody, I forgot now. About 2 months ago, I was approached by a young lady, probably in her 20-something. She said, "Hi, I remember you. You were Santa when I was in preschool." I said, "Wow, why would a preschooler remember that, you know?" And she said, "No, because my mother, Joy, from True Sunshine, told her when she was growing up that it was a CARES program. She was ready to leave the field, and because of that program, she stuck it out. And she's still, I think she's retired now, but she stuck it out for many, many more years. And that's what we need to do in San Francisco, support our teachers, our early educators, who really are the most important people when it comes to education of our children in San Francisco. So thank you very much again, Mayor Bree. I would like to say that if I'm going to be lengthy, it's because I never get a chance to talk about early education enough, never enough. We are seeing a slight increase in our young children population, and the number one issue I hear all the time from families and parents is that, you know, early education is inaccessible and unaffordable in San Francisco. Mayor Bree and I announced that we are taking the challenge to push San Francisco to be truly a child youth-friendly city that centers children at our policy, at every policy and planning decision. One of the easiest ways to ensure that every neighborhood, every housing, every project provides adequate space for childcare. Certainly I've been around for so long, I could talk about history a lot. There was the downtown child care development fee or plan that was brought to San Francisco over 25 years ago by some of my predecessors on the Board of Supervisors. And through the years, we realized if we needed $10, all we got from that was 2 cents. And it was just really inadequate. So one of the things I looked at was to increase the, what we call the child care fees for development, and that helped a little, but it wasn't enough. That wasn't even enough. And in Mayor Bree's budget this year, we actually put in more funding for facilities, child care facilities, and that's why we're able to afford to build these type of facilities for our children. And on the board, every developer knows. Any developers here? every developer knows by now, or at least many years ago, that if they come into my office about some new development, that they better have a response to how they will address the child care shortage in San Francisco. Otherwise, don't come into my office. Fair warning for new developers. Helping families, I hope to see more ribbon or ceremonies like this. And I'm also hopeful that the voter-backed early care and education for all initiative will finally be implemented so that families are provided subsidies to cover the high cost of child early education. It's something that we're waiting for. I'm sure we will win in the courts, and we will get every low-income family off that waiting list. About 2,000 or 2,500, and then we also will help about another 2,500 families that are moderate and middle income with this infusion of funding that we'll be getting. So I'm really, really excited that the dream of having universal early education in San Francisco will eventually happen. Right, Mimi? Yes. And so this is about investing in the future. What people often don't realize is how much investing in the early years of a child's life is really the best way for us to address the social inequities many of our communities are facing. If you are talking about working upstream, then we must urgently invest in early care and education and parental care or prenatal care. Our future really depends on it in this city. That is why the Child and Youth-Friendly City Initiative that Mayor Beale is talking about is so critical. It's about thinking differently about the way we grow our city. And if we design this, if we design with children in mind, we truly design something that is universally safe and vibrant for everyone. Imagine early care and education being a basic service for every family, regardless of income. Imagine child-friendly spaces on every block so that youth can safely explore the city as if it's a playground. Imagine streets are designed so that even a preschooler can stroll across. Imagine housing units like the ones above us in every development so that families can expand and adapt with their changing needs. The opportunities are endless, and I'm ecstatic to join Mayor Beale, our Children and Families Council, in organizing the 2020 Child and Youth Summit so to bring together our best thought partners from the business community, philanthropy, youth, advocates, parents, and residents to reimagine what San Francisco can and should be for our children, youth, and families. Thank you very much. Now, I'd like to bring up your best supervisor in this district. That's Supervisor Matt Haney.
Thank you. Well, first of all, speaking of the best, I don't think there has ever been a bigger, more effective champion for early childhood education than President Norman Yee. So if we could give him one more round of applause. From when before he was on the school board to when he was on the school board to now as a supervisor, this has been such a huge priority for him. And he had about 3 more pages, I think, of things to say, which he would have said. That shows how much leadership he has shown on this. Thank you, Mayor Breed, for your leadership, not just with this center, but with the larger initiative. Thank you to Iwoma and to Nushin and to Mimi and to all of the staff and educators who are here. Thank you to SOMAC for not just this center, but for all of the children that you serve and families that you serve across the South of Market neighborhood. As your supervisor, I'm deeply appreciative and know how high quality the services are that you provide to kids and families. I want to thank the families who are here. I want to thank the kids who are here, who are already enjoying what is just a wonderful, beautiful, colorful home for children and families. I can't wait to come in here and see 60-plus kids running around, having fun, learning, being supported and valued and loved. This is what it is all about. This is what every child in our city deserves. And I want to put a myth to rest right now, which is when you look around this neighborhood, a lot of what people see are lots of high rises and new buildings and law firms and tech companies. And when you see that, sometimes you don't recognize that this is also a neighborhood of families. This is also a neighborhood of children. And this is a residential neighborhood. And in order to have a neighborhood of families and children and residents, you need early childhood education. And so we believe that we don't only need this center, we need the next building that goes up to also have early childhood education in its building. And we need to plan in a way that plans for families and for kids. And so that means not only just early childhood education, we need an elementary school in this neighborhood as well. We need to start to plan for the future where families are truly valued, and that starts with early education and what we are doing here. So Soma, Transbay, East Cut, Rincon Hill, whatever you call it, is a family neighborhood. It's a neighborhood that values and welcomes children, and this is the best possible sign of our collective commitment to doing that. I also want to shout out the Soma Stabilization Fund, who I also know were a big part of funding this center and prioritizing early child education. I see my friends from the East Cut Community Benefit District here as well. As your supervisor, there's nothing more that we can do together with the mayor, with all of the community partners here, than think about our youngest, our littlest, and our future. And that's what we're doing here today. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, SOMAC, for opening this center.
Thank you, Supervisor Haney. And now I'd like to bring up Mimi Haas, who is the president of the Mimi and Peter Haas Fund, for a few remarks. Their generous support made it possible to get this place open sooner rather than later. So come on up, Mimi. Thank you.
So I am definitely not a public speaker. And it wasn't clear that I really was going to make some remarks, but I am honored. We have been, Norman beats us, but we have been involved in quality early childhood education in San Francisco since 1994. And I do admit that we just keep pushing ahead. We know what we still have to attain in San Francisco, but all of you should take credit that it still is one of the best cities in the country for early childhood education, quality early childhood education. Always have to add that to it. Nushin, congratulations to you. To you and your staff you worked on this for 5 years. Sometimes it's worth waiting for, and this place certainly is. And at the same time, keeping the quality at your other two sites, which are always some of my favorites to visit. One of the things that we really can never say enough is the commitment that the teachers and the parents make. I can't thank the mayor and the supervisors enough to pay our teachers what they deserve. We're a long way from it, but it's just crucial, and we can't thank them enough for the commitment and the passion that they give in this area. So we want to move ahead. Everybody wants to look around, but I thank all of you and Mayor for leading us to even a better place for quality early childhood education in San Francisco, and thanks for having me here today. I think we're getting more credit than we deserve, really. Thank you.
Thank you, Mimi. We really appreciate your support and your family's legacy of giving back so much to San Francisco. It really does mean a lot, not only to have you here, but to have you at the forefront of the fight for early childhood education in this city. So thank you so much for being here. And now I'd like to introduce the Executive Director of SOMAC, Nusheen. Come on up, the woman of the hour.
Thank you so much. It's really a privilege to be here today with Mayor, Mrs. Haas, Matt Haney, Supervisor Norman Yee, Ihoma, and all of you. You know, we are excited, we are thankful. It took us I made a speech, 5 pages, but I decided not to say it. So it took us 5 years to build this beautiful school. We applied for RFP, and Ingrid and Graham were in the office and with Mercy Housing reviewing our RFP, and we were very fortunate that they selected us. And this is our dream. It does take a village to build a child development center. It does. But it does take massive amount of funding. Past 5 years, me, Yatping, many of our staff, Joy, we've been just writing grants and collecting funds from everywhere that we could to build these beautiful schools. And then our architects, they were experts in dealing with rules and regulations of the city. We had several fire inspections. Every inspection was different than the other one, so we were delaying the opening of the site. But we are fortunate that we are in San Francisco. Norman, Mayor, Mrs. Haas, everybody, this is a very unique place. And one of the lacks that we have, I've been in this field for 40 years, it's our teachers and their wages. We were planning to open the site much earlier, but we were not possible to find the teachers. We still are not going to be at full capacity. This site has license for 60 children. We are not able to open all the rooms because we still are not at full capacity and we were not able to hire the staff that we needed. We are so lucky that Ihoma has been with our agency for many years and she came and take over. Otherwise, we were not able to do this. It was our dream to build a facility like this. And our architect, Bruce Prescott and Michaela Zini, really listened to us, listened to our dreams and hopes for the children. And they came up with this design and plan that we are so proud. 60 children, majority of them will be from Natalie Cobb Commons, will be here. We will provide quality early care and education services. Our staff already been engaged in several weeks of professional development, even before starting. So we really care about the quality of our services. And we will provide comprehensive family resources program on site at Natalie Cobb, so families will have access to various services that our staff provide. I still have to thank several people that were engaged in this process and help us to build this. First Office of Early Care and Education, I already said, Ingrid and Graham, that they trust us with this site. Thank you. Office of Community Investment and Infrastructure, OCII, especially Pam Sims and Gretchen Heckman, and the commissioner, because this site was supposed to be a parking space, and the commissioner decided that, well, the Child Development Center is better probably than a parking center. So we are very thankful. Mayor's Office of Housing and Community Development, John Harris, Stephen Ford, and Brian Chu. Thank you with all the paperwork that we had to do, and you help us with all of them. Somewhat Stabilization Fund, Claudine is here, they were so supportive. throughout the process, and especially Claudine, thank you. Low Income Investment Fund, Kim and Paranda, they help us with licensing. That was the last nightmare that we had to deal with, to get the license, and they helped us a lot. And I have to thank, again, I know Mimi says that they're not very much involved, but they are more than much. They're very, very involved. To Mimi and Peter Haas Fund, William G. Irvin Charity Foundation, the Maurice Stalsaft Foundation, the Fremont Group Foundation for their support and encouragement. Thank you. And I thank our architect. We couldn't have done this without Bruce and Michele. Michele is not here today. Thank you. Thank you for listening to us and making our dreams possible. Thank you. Thank you to our staff, to each and all of you. You've been our support, my support throughout these years to build this facility. And thank you to our board of directors for being there for us as a strong presence. And thank you. Thank you. And I think I covered everything. Yes, it does take a village to build a child development center, and it does take tons of money to build a quality child development center. Thank you to Norman, thank you to Matt. And I want to say one last thing. We are here in the tech capital of San Francisco, probably. Salesforce is here, Facebook, I don't know, they're opening up a campus. And I hope that there will be a day that our staff will have equal wages as people that work at Facebook and Salesforce, whatever their name is. Thank you.
Thank you, Nasheen. And now for a few words about her experience with her child, clearly, who will be a student here at this place. Oyundari, come on up. She's one of the parents here.
Hi, everybody. My name is Oyundari. I am mom of two, and I'm thrilled to be here. And this is the dream. Like everybody else is saying, it's a dream come true. I've been dreaming this place since I moved to Natalie Gobb Common. I live next door. And since we become a resident over there, they told me that preschool gonna be here, and we've been waiting for this for long. It feels like I've been waiting all my life. I've been calling Melinda, who is, she's somewhere here. I've been bothering her almost every day. I was calling her, what is happening? Is it an opening? I want to know because I want to go back to work. I want to know everything. It says February, today is May. The next day they said October, and today is December. So I've been calling her almost so many times. And this is so nice. I can't believe I have second one now. He also will be here, and my older son, he actually enrolling same school but different location, so he will be transferring here as well. And my two boys will be here, and I live next door. Life at this moment cannot be any better than this. So thank you so much. Thank you for everybody who worked so hard to open. I'm really glad. I hope I'm not the only one who's living in this wonderful life. I hope everybody can live in our building, can enroll their child and go back to their work, have regular life as everybody else. As a parent, this is the best thing we can wish for. Thank you for everybody. Bye.
Thank you. And last, before we cut this ribbon and get this place open so we can get out of the way of these kids who need more room to play, Nasheen, I just wanted to do a special presentation to you for your work for the past 15 years, your dedication to really being an advocate for early childhood education. working to support kids and be on the front lines for this. This is oftentimes thankless work, requires a lot of patience and a lot of hard work to hire people, to review contracts, to apply for dollars, to turn in the paperwork on time. I mean, you name it, Nusheen does it, and she has been doing it with SOMAC for the past 15 years, and we are so grateful for your service and the work that you've done in the South of Market community, but the work that we know you will continue to do to be such a blessing to so many people who need child care that is going to help make a difference in their child's lives. And so thank you on behalf of the City and County of San Francisco. All right, Supervisor Haney, President Yee, Mrs. Haas, and Nusheen, and all the others. I think we're going to cut a ribbon. Are we going to cut a ribbon? Oh, we're going to cut a ribbon, and then we're going to let our kids get back to playing and having a good time. Okay, kids? Yes? You want us to get out of your hair? Okay. Thank you, everyone, for coming.